Hello guys, welcome back to another video here on my channel. My name is Drielle, for those who don't know me, and I teach English as a second language. So welcome. And in today's lesson, we're gonna learn how to talk about sports in English. I'm gonna help you learn some new vocabulary, verbs, and phrases. But before we start, I'd like to ask you to subscribe if you're not a subscriber and to thumbs up this video. I'm also going to leave all my social media links in the description box down below. I have a blog, a podcast, an Instagram. So if you want to learn more English with me, just make sure to check those out. I do post on my Instagram every day, and that account is Portuguese English, but I do have an only English Instagram account. My blog and my podcast are all in English, so feel free to follow me there and learn some new English with me. So let's dive into today's lesson, how to talk about sports in English. Let's talk about verbs. In Portuguese, we oftentimes say that if you play a sport, if you do a sport, you practice that sport. So for example, if I play volleyball, I can say I practice volleyball. If I say I practice karate, it means that I do karate. But in English, we cannot use the word practice like that. So if you say I practice volleyball, that is incorrect. Practice is the train session that you go to, play with your colleagues in order to get ready for an important game. So practice is the session you go to train. You would say, I have to go to practice, which is the activity of going and training with your friends. You can use the verb play, do, and go when talking about sports. They differ in usage, and let's learn how they are different. But before we learn that, I want to teach you some sports vocabulary. First, we have football. Football is not football, the same football as in Portuguese. In Portuguese, we have a word pretty similar, which is futebol. And futebol is actually soccer in English. Football, it's American football. And then we have soccer, which is common in many countries, especially Brazil. Volleyball, baseball. The pronunciation here that I would like you to focus on is on the L. So that L is called dark L. And to make that sound, you need to get your throat, lay flat on the bottom of your mouth. The back of your tongue will pull towards the back of your mouth. So it will go towards your throat. So for example, volleyball. All. Volleyball. Baseball, handball, basketball, tennis, fencing. Fencing is that sword game that you play with an opponent. Cycling, wrestling, which is fight, bowling. I didn't know that bowling was a sport, but apparently it is. And I am terrible at bowling, let me tell you this. Surfing, archery is when you have a bow and an arch, and then you do archery, just like, what is his name? Ihawk from the Avengers. Swimming. So swimming can be a verb and a noun. So here is a noun, it's the sport's name. Hockey, and sailing. Sailing is that sport that you are on the ocean, on a small boat. You're sailing. So sailing. As you can see, some sports end in ing, and they can be either a verb or the noun. It just depends on where they are placed, where in the sentence they are placed, and how they are used. So let's talk about the verb play. When do we use? So let's see the examples here. I play soccer. John plays volleyball. Maria and Tom played football when they were in college. So the past of play is played. It's a regular verb. The team plays basketball. All the sports mentioned here are team sports. So for all the sports that are played in teams, we are going to use the verb play. So you say play soccer, volleyball, football, soccer, basketball. Can you name another team sport in the comments. Now let's talk about do. Again, let's see the examples first and see if you can figure it out when to use do. Drielle does BJJ, which stands for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. John and Maria do archery. Shayla likes to do yoga. Angela and Mario do exercise every day. BJJ, archery, yoga, and to exercise you do individually. You don't do in a team. So BJJ is one person competing against another person. It's not a team sport. So for all sports that are played individually. Here on the last example, I underlined the verb do because you can actually say Angela and Mario exercise every day. You don't need the verb do there. But because I added the verb do there, they exercise every day. Some play, like when you do a sport, it's a sport that you play individually. But here, exercise doesn't need actually a verb. And if you put do, you're just emphasizing that information. Now let's see the verb go. Drielle goes swimming every day. My mom and my brother go jogging every morning. Do they go cycling at 5 a.m.? Her friends go wrestling on the... And then there is a picture right on top the word. Let me put it here. Here we go. This really grumpy monkey over here. Orangutangos? I don't know. So her friends go wrestling on the weekend. So the verb go is used right before the activity in the ing. So swimming here, it's not an ongoing verb like I am swimming. So here I am swimming, the verb swimming is an ongoing action. It's actually a verb. But in this phrase, goes swimming, swimming is not a verb, it's the activity of swimming. So if I say Drielle goes swimming every day, I'm not talking about the fact that she's swimming, but she goes and does an activity. So swimming, activity, not the verb. Same thing for the other example. So jogging, she goes jogging every morning. Jogging, not the verb, but the activity itself. Cycling, I'm not talking about that she's cycling right now. I'm not using as a verb, but instead as an activity, as a noun. Her friends go wrestling, an activity, not the verb wrestling. So you can use play for team sports, do for sports that you play solo, and go before an activity in the ing form. But it has to end the ing because you cannot invent one. Oh, Drielle goes yogging. Like there is no such a thing of yogging. Yoga. So only sports that end in ing. Then here you have some questions that you can practice alone or with a friend. You can also practice with me. Are you ready? So do you do any sports? You can say, do you play any sports? What is the difference between those two questions? If you do any sports, you do a sport that is played individually. Now, if you play a sport, you play a sport that is played in team. So if I say, do you do any sports? You can say, no, but I play volleyball. Who is your favorite athlete? So athlete, the person who plays a sport professionally. Athlete. What is your favorite sport? What is your favorite sport? Do you follow sports? So maybe you don't like to play, but you like to watch. Brazilians love watching soccer games. So Brazilians follow soccer games. What sports do you follow? What team do you support? In Brazil, again, soccer is huge and we cheer for different teams. So you can say, oh, I support São Paulo team. I am São Paulina. What is your favorite team? What is your favorite team? What sports are you into? To be into something is to like something. So for example, I'm into you. I'm sure you've heard that one before. It has in many songs. If I am into you, it means that I like you. Are you good at sports? And then if you're good at something. So are you good at sports or playing sports? Just a quick adding here. To be into something is to like something more than just liking. You really, really like. So into is like really, really liking something. So let's see, who is your favorite athlete? What is your favorite sport? No, that's not the questions I wanna ask. Okay, so here, let's see. Do you like soccer? There are several ways that you can answer that question. You can say, yes, I do, which is simple, short, sometimes polite, depending on your intonation. But you can use other words. You can say, yes, I like soccer. But if you really like soccer, you are a fan, a huge fan. So yes, I am a huge fan of soccer. I'm a fan of soccer. I like soccer. I love soccer. Now, if it's negative, you can say, I don't really like soccer. I'm not a huge fan of soccer. I don't care about sports. So it's not about liking or disliking. It's just like, it doesn't really matter for you. If they play, you're okay with. If they don't play, you're okay with. You don't care about sports. So whenever you don't care about something, you can say that, like, I don't really care about sports. I don't really care about clothing. So let's practice this conversation right here. You're going to be B and I'm going to be A. And then we're going to sweep. And then we're going to exchange places. Ready? Let's go. Hey, did you watch the game last night? Man, it was a good game. We almost lost. Germany 7, Brazil 1. Tony Cruz, he was selected as the man of the match. Let's take a look into the examples here. I said score. Score means the point. So if I say, what was the score? What is the score? I want to know the points to figure out who's winning or losing. So in this case, Brazil had 1 goal and then Germany had 7. So that was the score, 7 against 1. And then we have the word match, meaning the game. And Germany beat Brazil, meaning that Germany won that match, that game. So when you say beat, it's because it was a brutal win. Because Brazil had made only 1 goal, it was very brutal because Germany had 7. In soccer, that's a huge gap. It's a big number. So when we say beat, it means that Germany not only won, but it won by a lot. So Germany beat Brazil. Now you are going to be A and I'm going to be B. Ready? Let's go. I did not. I was busy helping my wife with the house. What was the score? Who played? Germany beat Brazil. Good job. Here you have another conversation that you can practice. I'm gonna read it for you. Do you follow any sports? So to follow, to watch. Yes, I follow volleyball. Do you? So here I'm asking, I follow volleyball. Do you follow volleyball as well? Or do you follow any sports? And then the answer, I am a fanatic about martial arts. Here, you don't need the word a. I'm fanatic, right? I'm a huge fan. I'm fanatic about martial arts. When was the last time you watched a fight? So, I love martial arts, but I rarely watch any fights. Rarely, almost never. I like doing BJJ, going to the gym and getting some rolls. And then when you go to BJJ, it's a jiu-jitsu vocabulary. Drills and rolls because you roll with people on the floor. That's dope. So this is a very young vocabulary. So adults don't really use the word dope. But young people, teenagers, young adults, they oftentimes say dope. I, for example, don't say dope and doesn't go well with the way I regularly speak. So that's dope. I sometimes watch MMA. Punches and throws are very thrilling. What is to punch? Is to give someone like a punch. This is a punch. And then throws is when you throw someone across the room or just throwing something. So for example, this is my phone. I'm gonna throw my phone. So this is to throw. And then something that is very thrilling, very exciting. No kidding, like there's no joke, for real. Last time I watched a fight was Aaron Pico versus John de Jesus. They are both badasses, meaning that they're both super good players, boxers, fighters. How often do you do BJJ? I do BJJ 5 times a week. And then you have some more vocabulary. Champion is to win something. You are the champion. Championship is the event. Tournament is also an event that it happens where you compete with other people. Playoffs are the games itself. So when one team play with the other team, they are on the playoffs. Stadium, and then spectator. Spectator is the people who go watch those games. The game was tied, and a game that is tied, it means that they both have the same score. So there isn't a loser or a winner. So for example, if we're talking about Germany and Brazil playing soccer, if I say that Germany scored 7, Brazil scored 7, they are tied because none of them are either losing or winning. They have the same score. And then we have the word blowout. So it means that one team won, the other team super easy. It was an easy game. So the game was a blowout, meaning that the game was super easy for one side to win, to be victorious. And then you can play it again, but there is another conversation here, so you can practice. You know, do you like sports? And then you can answer. So let's play this for a little, okay? I'm going to ask you, and then you're going to answer as you wish. Do you like sports? Do you play any sports? What is the most dangerous sport in your opinion? Do you follow soccer? Are you competitive? Where do you usually play? If you feel the need, you can stop the video, you can pause the video at any time and finish your answer, and then you can play back again, listen to the other question, and so forth. And that's it from me today, guys. Thank you so much. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Drielle Paetznick, also on my podcast, ESL Podcast. My blog, I'm going to leave all the links in the description box down below. I appreciate you coming here and watching this video, supporting my work. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and to thumbs up this video. And I see you next. Have a good week. Bye bye.